with me were two psychological operations teammates, a Marine videographer, and our Iraqi interpreter. A vehicle loaded with approximately 200 pounds of explosives drove at our vehicle and detonated, creating a 20-foot crater. My teammates were both dead. My survival was uncertain. I was trapped upside down and surrounded by fire. The convoy stopped. My fellow soldiers somehow pulled me from the fire. I don't remember any of this. I had suffered second and third degree burns on my hands and legs. Fractures to my right arm, collarbones, lower jaw, and damage to my neck. The injury that caused my entire life to change was my traumatic brain injury. I don't remember those first months. I was in a coma. I could blink my eyes, move my left hand, and my right thumb. That was it. I couldn't speak or communicate except through involuntary facial expressions. My mom read my face the best she could and would then be my advocate to the doctors and nurses. My body woke up one body part at a time. My mind woke up slowly and with a lot of work. After 3 months I uttered my first word. No, no, no! After being asked if I wanted to repeat a tough therapy session. It became obvious that I was mentally like a small child. I was confused and frustrated and afraid if my mom wasn't there. Why couldn't I stand up or walk? Why were my arms and legs shaking Why are my arms and legs shaking uncontrollably? The shaking was called ataxia. I still deal with it today. My short-term memories would last only a few seconds. If you came to visit me before you were 10 steps out the door, I have no idea that you have ever been there. Sitting up with help and stacking cones on each other would leave me dripping with sweat and trembling with fatigue and pain. My physical and occupational and speech therapist pushed me. My mom encouraged me. My faith sustained me, and I worked harder than I'd ever worked before. After 3.5 months at Walter Reed, I was transferred to a polytrauma VA hospital in Tampa, Florida. The feeding tube in my stomach was finally removed. I had to eat pureed food because I had forgotten how to chew. My mom would feed me most of it and then let me try to feed myself. My aim was bad and my arms shook, but I was always hungry. So I worked hard to get that spoon to my mouth. It was messy. My brain couldn't figure out which way was up. Standing up on my own was impossible. I would trip over and fall down. When I learned how to undo the belt on my wheelchair, I tried to stand. of course, I wouldn't remember that I'd fallen, so I'd undo it, whatever it, I would undo whatever they used to tie me to the chair. I was like a determined 5-year-old about that time, and I thought the whole thing was rather funny. After 2.5 months in Tampa, I was transferred to the VA hospital in Ann Arbor. I spent the next couple of months undergoing therapy to improve my speech, balance, and coordination. Finally, I spent 3 months in a brain injury rehabilitation group home. After a year in facilities and finally got to go home, I was about an 8-year-old mentally and in a wheelchair. I could not take care of myself in any way except I was feeding pretty well. I have my priorities straight, of course. I was receiving outpatient therapies, but that wasn't enough for my healing brain. I needed to be taught how to do things every day, the same things, the same way every day. Thankfully, after a year and a half at home, we heard of a place in Omaha, Nebraska. They specialize in helping people like me learn to develop our skills to do to the fullest, while also learning to accept our limitations. I ended up staying there for 3 years. Oh, sorry. Never mind. I ended up staying there for a year that changed my life for the better. I had been frustrated and humiliated by what I couldn't do, but they helped me focus on what I could do. Every task I needed was broken down into steps, which I repeated until they became a routine. Did you know it takes 10 steps to brush your teeth? It took a while to do. Took a while to learn that, but I did, and I was proud. I was able to throw away my cane and walk unassisted for the first time in 2.5 years. I learned how to spend a night alone in an apartment so that when I moved back to Ann Arbor, I was accepted into an apartment program. I had become independent, far beyond what was predicted for me. I have lived in that same apartment for 8 years now, and I love it. I have staff who help me every day. They drive me places like church and Bible study or go to the gym. I work a part-time job at a wonderful place called New Step.
Yeah, good for you.
They make a recumbent exercise machine that I use every rehabilitation facility during my recovery. I shall still use one. My brain injury is something I've had to come to terms with. It is what I have, but it is not who I am. I am working hard to achieve a higher level of independence. I will not quit. You will find my attitude very common among veterans. Our military training taught us that quitting is not an option. We adapt, we fight until we are victorious. We adapt and overcome. I will not let my brain injury stop me for doing what I want to do and what God wants me to do. Honoring my fellow veterans is one of those things. No veteran should ever feel forgotten or unappreciated. Each has paid a price for our freedom. We all come home from war with scars, inside or outside, some visible and some not. To all veterans here today, I offer my gratitude. You went before me and stood in the gap to protect me, and I thank you. You're a force for good in this country, and I'm very proud to be one of you. Tonight, each one of you has chosen to be a part of something good, and for that, I offer my respect and gratitude. God bless the United States of America, and God bless you. Thank you.